All right, let's do it. X-Men trailer for Doomsday in 1080p. Let's go.
Death comes for us all. That's all I know for sure. The question isn't, are you prepared to die? The question is, who will you be when you close your eyes?
Okay. All right. The X-Men will return? So my only issue with this term one, the trailer, teaser, whatever, is great. This is the best one so far. I love the Thor one. I hated the Steve Rogers one. This one is the best one. And I can't believe I'm saying this because this was not my favorite era of X-Men movies. My favorite era of X-Men movies were the ones that came out after this, the second phase of movies with the younger cast. That's the ones that I liked. Like, I preferred those films in general. But there's something iconic about these actors connected to these characters. Does that make sense? There's something iconic about them. All of them are connected to these characters in a way that feels like they are more of, how can I put this? The characters are represented by these actors in a way that I think is more rizzed out. I don't know what the word is. It just, these actors connect to these characters better, in my opinion, is what I'm looking for. And so, even though I prefer the other movies, and I think there's, like, Michael Fassbender as Magneto is incredible. Incredible. You know what I mean? Like, I admit that. However, these guys are the OGs. This was like the beginning. So let me talk about this. I want to just sort of wax poetic about this for a moment. When I was growing up as a kid, back in the olden days, back when we had to churn our own butter and cars didn't exist, back at that time, we were reading comic books on cave walls. I never thought that we would ever see live action superheroes like we were seeing in these movies, right? Especially the X-Men. Keep in mind, I grew up on the X-Men. They were the first series of comic books that I ever read as a kid. I saw the Superman movie back when I was young. I saw the Batman 89 movie, but I wanted the X-Men. I saw the Blade movie. Fantastic, by the way. Blade ushered in. We got to give flowers to Blade. Blade ushered in the X-Men universe. 100%. We wouldn't have the X-Men movies without Blade. Right? So you have to give Blade his flowers there. But we got these X-Men movies. And for me, when I was watching them originally, I had very little complaints because I was so excited to see them. Do you guys know how that feels? You know what I mean? Like you'll take something, whatever it is, because you're just excited for that thing. And that's how I was originally with the first X-Men movies. Keep in mind, I think the second one had some great moments in it. The first one has iconic, memorable lines and stuff, but I don't think it's a great movie. And I didn't really care for the third one too much. Again, there were moments in it that I didn't care for it too much. But I love these movies, and I look back at them nostalgically. So I think, for me, it feels right. So I'm happy to see them back because I never thought I would have them in the first place. You know what I mean? We get X-Men 97, and I'm like, okay, so this cartoon is exactly the level of the X-Men that I want. And then we see this. We see this. This is crazy. We're getting this Cyclops in this costume. I just, my mind is blown. But I will say the return thing. When they say return, do we think, and when I say we, I mean all of us here chatting tonight, do we think that these are the X-Men from that universe? Or is it like the X-Men that look like those X-Men? Right? Like it's like a multiversal version of the same characters. Or is it actually the same X-Men? Because if you think about it, what about Thor? What about Steve Rogers? Right? Are those guys the actual guys? Or are they alternate versions that look just like the ones we remember? Because they're using the word return. Return for me suggests that these are the OGs. That these are the ones who started the whole thing. That's how I feel about it. But I could be wrong. It absolutely could just be the same X-Men from that Fox universe. I wouldn't be mad about that. I mean, it does mess up the continuity a little bit because we saw what their future looks like, you know, in Days of Future Past. So it does mess with their continuity a little bit. Cyclops supposedly was dead. So I don't know where this would come into play with that. So I don't know. I feel like this might not be the same X-Men, but it could be. We do have a guest in the green room now that just left. I don't know who it was. I clicked off the screen where the trailer was because I heard someone come in and they disappeared. So I don't know. Whoever it was, thank you for stopping in. Even if it was only for a second. I appreciate it. Now, we did get... it wasn't Paigey. Paigey wouldn't be on right now. We did get a super chat here from Naruto, $5 super chat. Did you see the giant pair of legs moving behind Cyclops? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Sentinels attacking the X-Mansion. Pretty sure. But I could be wrong. But I'm thinking maybe it is. Maybe it is. I would love that, though. Give us some, like, who's in the back room? Hold on, let me close the window here. It's Darren. Well, I don't know if it was Darren at first, but it's Darren now.
Hello, it was me.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't hear anything that you were saying for some reason. Like, you were completely muted when I jumped in. I was like, so I exited out and came back in.
Oh, okay. Well, glad you're here. I basically just watched the X-Men teaser. Have you seen it yet?
I just watched it. I was pretty disappointed today because I knew it was coming out today.
Right.
But I was like, all right, I still hadn't done Avatar Fire and Ash. So I went to the theater today because like I want to see this on the big screen. Right. I wanted to see it. And they showed the Steve Rogers one instead of the X-Men one. And I was so disappointed. But I came home and I watched it anyway. I'm excited.
Right. I think this is the best of the 3 teasers we've gotten so far.
Ooh.
What do you think? You think Thor's better?
I do kind of slightly like Thor, but like...
I'm not going to argue against it. I think that Thor... So, first of all, the Steve Rogers teaser is the worst one. Easily.
Yes. Oh, easily.
But I think you could argue both of these, depending on where your nostalgia is.
But, you know, I'll say, like, seeing him in the suit for the first time ever is... It's just so cool. Like, it's so cool that we were here. Like, this is my one thing I wanted from Doomsday. I was like, if we're doing this, if we're bringing him back, get him in the damn suit. Give him that beautiful, beautiful suit. And dear God, that looks incredible. I'm so happy.
The optic blast effect in this is crazy.
It's so good. We've never seen, like, full-on Cyclops in live action, huh? Like, not really.
Not the real one, no. We've gotten, like, versions of him, but never anything that feels like this. This one shot, to me, to be completely honest, and I usually don't do this because I like to get a little bit more first. But this one shot here is more Cyclops than we've ever had in any live action X-Men project. You know, we've seen it in the cartoons. He's been in lots of cartoons and stuff, but we've never seen this version of Cyclops in live action. So
it's cool to finally see him getting his just. Because even in like the animated stuff for years, it was always Wolverine. In the movies, it was always Wolverine. And I think between X-Men 97, which treated him so well, he was so good in that show. And now in this one, seemingly getting the time to shine without Wolverine there as well. Like, it's just like, this is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, I don't know if James thought he would ever be back in this role again. You know what I mean? Like, after the second movie. I don't know if he ever thought he would come back. But
he's been wanting it. Like, he's been, like, campaigning for years. You can tell he was not very happy what happened in X3 when they did what they did to him, which is still one of my least favorite things.
Well, that's what I mean. He basically wasn't even in X3. Like, after the second movie, he was pretty much gone.
So
like,
stupid,
Yeah.
And he's such a good casting too. Like, it's going to be hard to. Again, I won't say they can't get someone better, but like look wise, he looks like Scott. Like, he's such a good casting for the character, and they really just fumbled him. And most of that cast of most of those movies, like if you weren't like Wolverine, Xavier, Magneto, Mystique, you kind of got the short end of the stick.
Yeah. We have another person in the green room. We click down here. It is Jake, who has arrived in time to give his opinion on the X-Men teaser. Yeah, it does. It works.
My ears were burning, or my eyes were burning, you could say. Which they actually were doing a lot today because of some idiot at work. Yeah, I loved what I saw here. I don't know if you guys saw it yet. Those are definitely some giant ass Sentinel feet in the background.
Yeah, that's what I said that earlier too.
Love how we're getting that shot just ripped from honestly a few different things. Finally seeing him in that suit. Xavier wearing the iconic vest with the logo. Magneto rocking his 97 hair. And maybe I look too far into this, but did anybody else think back to the end of X-Men The Last Stand whenever Magneto started moving the chess piece?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, cool. Making sure it wasn't just me. No, loved what we saw there, and I kind of knew going into this, like, that it was going to be my favorite of the three we've seen so far. And I'll just say this: I've liked each one of these teasers progressively more.
Right.
Because with the Cap one, the Steve Rogers one, I'm like, okay, like, I don't really know what to think. It's interesting, sure. Then you get to the Thor one, I'm like, all right, this definitely looks better than what we've seen with the character in a while. It's giving me a little bit more hope. Then with this one, I was, okay, I guess Darren had my praise. With this one, I was cheering and celebrating, which I hadn't done with these teasers yet. So,
well, the thing about James Marsden is you look back 25 years now, 26 years when they were filming this movie. We know what his level of acting was then, and he's done a lot of stuff since then. I think he's a much better actor now than he was back when he was in the X-Men. So I already know that he's going to come into this with a lot more behind the character than he did previously, because he's just got more under his belt in terms of acting. Yeah. Acting skills. So that the Sentinels took Darren exactly.
And granted, when he first played that role, he hadn't before. Now he has, and granted, it's been a long time, but he at least does have experience with that role, so he might be able to, like, slip back into it in a new way, maybe with a little bit more freedom to just kind of just go with it, because we know how anti-comic source material Bryan Singer was. Yeah. So you might actually be able to get a little bit of free reign.
So Naruto says, apparently the next teaser is Fantastic Four, not Doctor Doom. I actually have an article that talks about that teaser. I'm not going to play it because obviously it would get the stream in trouble, just like this one would have last week. And this one might still end up disappearing. So I don't know. We'll see.
So JYCV, I don't think that's going to be the case. And people are theorizing that. I don't think they would have gone through the trouble of putting all of those mutants in a 5-hour plus chair announcement if they were only going to be in the movie for like 5 minutes.
Also, I think it would ruin a lot of the good faith they're building right now to do that.
Because they don't want to do like what happened with, something like Crisis on Infinite Earths in the Arrowverse, where a lot of those leaked cameos came out and people thought that those appearances were going to lead to more than they inevitably did.